Today I'm joined here with Zoe from the SPCA filling in for Becca, and she's brought in the cutest and softest kittens I've ever held in my entire life. Whipped cream, peppermint, and marshmallow. So tell me a little bit about their story.
Well, these guys came in as strays with their mom. Their mom is up for adoption. These guys are waiting for their spays and neuters, but they've been at the shelter for approximately 45 days, so they've been there quite a while.
And approximately how long until they will be ready to go up for adoption?
These guys will probably be scheduled within the new year, so probably first week in January. And yeah, they'll get their spays and neuters and be ready for adoption.
Now, I know over the holidays you held a sale on a lesser fee on the adult cats and kittens. Tell me a little bit about how that went or how that's going number-wise.
Yeah, it went really well. We had about 23 cats and kittens find homes. We did have a few dogs in there, but they weren't part of the sale, but it was a really good turnout.
And so then how are you guys doing with number-wise? Like, are you guys still full? Or are you still, you're pretty good so far on numbers?
We're doing pretty good, slowly working through the waiting list, but currently we are full on the adoption floor, so lots of kitties up for adoption right now.
And just talking, since you know it is officially the new year tomorrow, what are the kind of the early plans for the SPCA, or what do people have to look forward to coming up?
Basically just getting more animals adopted. We are starting out the new year in the black, so our books are balanced. So that's really exciting for us. We just have a lot of kitties and puppies that need homes, and we'll continue caring for them and doing our best with that.
And is there any upcoming events or anything exciting that the SPCA or people can get involved in coming up?
Not coming up right away, but we will have another volunteer orientation in the new year. Tax season is coming up, so we'll be a little bit busy with that, but we're looking forward to a big turnout with this orientation.
And just going back to the kittens, what kind of personalities do they have? They're a little bit skittish, a little bit rambunctious, but they are very loving nonetheless. So tell me a little bit about how they interact with other cats, dogs, or even people who come by and see them.
So these guys are all quite loving. They're, of course, they're typical cats, so they love to love and play and eat. These guys, I would say, are a little bit more loving. They have quite the purr when you get them going. They are a bit of a longer hair, but of course they just make them a little bit softer. They are all together right now, so all three of them are in the same kennel. They do really well together. Ideally they would get adopted as like pairs, but of course being three, it's a little hard to adopt them out in pairs, but they do really well with other cats, and they haven't seemed to mind the dogs that walk by their kennels.
And would you recommend that, you know, if families with any age children, they would be fine in those type of homes, or would they be a specific age?
Yeah, I believe they would do fine with any other age of children. These guys don't tend to scratch as much as most kittens do. They typically tend to keep their claws in, but of course teaching children manners around animals is always recommended.
And you recently had a litter of puppies, I know. So with dog number wise, we talked about, you know, cats being full. How are you guys doing with dog wise, getting those adopted?
It's been a little bit slower than we expect. We are full on dogs. Right now it's more so just getting surgeries through. Of course, having a limited amount of vet clinics in town, it's a little bit hard, but we're getting them through slowly and hopefully start getting more adopted out.
And some of your, just really quickly before we wrap up, I know that there's a few long-term residents. I know we had one recently come in a couple weeks ago that has been adopted finally. So have you seen that, you know, the longer residents are, you know, finally able to find their homes more easily, especially with the holiday sale that you guys had?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely, we found a lot of people came in asking who was the longest residents, and a lot of them did get adopted. We do have a few long residents at the SPCA, Elvin and Theodore. Those two have been in the shelter for about 110 days now. One of their siblings did get adopted during the event, but those two are still waiting on homes for sure.
All right, well, thank you so much for bringing in this adorable trio, and hopefully you'll be able to clear some space up for the new year.
For sure.